Welcome Bakersfield Family Music and Art students to your online art class with me, Mrs. D. Here's what you will need for today's lesson. Paper, pencil, colored pencils, crayons, or markers. Today we will be talking about space. No, not that space. The element of art space. Space is used to create the illusion of depth. Space can be two-dimensional, three-dimensional, negative, and or positive. For example, here is a landscape painting. It is a one-point perspective showing space. It has a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. For example, the background is located at the top of the painting, the middle ground is in the middle, and the foreground is right in front. The painting, like this drawing, is an example of one-point perspective. This is where we have our horizontal line representing the horizon and one point from which all lines are drawn. For example, in our painting, we can see our horizon line with a point where all other lines are drawn from one single point. This is called one-point perspective. In today's lesson, we will be creating our very own one-point perspective landscape drawing. Are you ready for today's project? Let's get started. With your pencil on your paper, draw a horizontal line across the middle of the page, marking one dot. You can see my dot on the right-hand side of the page. Next, we will be drawing a pair of diagonal lines from our dot down across our paper to the bottom of our page. Now we will draw a broken diagonal line from our one point down to the bottom of our page. Does this look like a road? Now let's work on the middle ground. On the right-hand side of the page, in the middle, let's draw some curved lines that look like hills. Remember to pause the video when you need more time. You can always begin again when you're ready. Now let's try drawing some mountains. On the left-hand side of your paper, let's start by drawing a line up and then down, similar to a triangle. Now let's repeat that a few more times. Be sure that you're starting your mountain on the side of the previous mountain, like this. Okay, let's add a couple more. Great, I bet your mountains look awesome. Now let's try and draw a sun. Draw a circle in the top right-hand corner between two mountains. Then let's draw some straight lines around it, making it look as though the sun is shining on our landscape. Great, let's review our landscape. We have one long horizontal line representing our horizon with one point. That will be our one-point perspective. Notice how all the lines are drawn to that one point. Let's add some more detail. How about some grass? On our horizon line, just to the right of our one point, we can draw what looks like a downward pointing arrow. This will represent our grass. Notice that it is small because when things are far away from us, they are much smaller. Let's draw some more grass at the front or foreground of our page. This grass will be much larger because we know when things are close to us, they seem much bigger. Now let's draw some medium-sized grass in the middle of our paper, all the way over here on the right-hand side. Let's do the same thing on the other side of our page. Let's start by drawing a small bit of grass on our horizon. Now let's draw some medium-sized grass right here in the middle. Remember, it looks like a downward pointing arrow. Let's also draw a nice big one right over here in the corner. Now, doesn't that look nice? Okay, let's turn this grass into flowers. We'll do that by drawing a circle over the center of each downward facing arrow. Next, we will add some petals to each one of our circles by drawing a curved line like the letter U or the letter C. You can have 3, 4, or even 5 petals. Now comes the fun part. Let's use our colored pencils, markers, or crayons to start coloring in our drawing. Let's start at the top, or the background. I'm using yellow for my sun and light blue to color in my sky. You can use whatever colors that make you happy. Now let's color in our mountains. Take your time. Remember, you can always pause the video and restart whenever you're ready. Now let's color in those wonderful rolling hills. I chose light green. You can choose any color you have available. Now that we've colored in our background and middle ground, let's work on our foreground. That's the part in the front of our drawing. I'm using a dark green to color in my grass. You can use any color that makes you happy. Fantastic! Now let's color in the petals and the centers of all of our flowers. You can choose whatever colors you like to do this. Finally, let's color in our road. I'm going to use gray. You can use any color you like. Some of you may be satisfied with your drawing now, but let's see if you can add some shading to your mountains, hills, and foreground to really make your picture pop. You can do this by adding more color or taking a darker color to some of the areas of your drawing. I chose the left-hand side of my mountains, the right-hand side of my hills, and the bottom of my paper in the foreground. There, all done. What a fun drawing! Thank you for joining me for art class today. Until next time, be creative. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos. See you soon.